Hi everybody, it's the beginning of a new year and it's that time of the year when we all start thinking about getting organized, and so I thought I would make a series of videos on organizing. Now our family lives in a relatively small house for 10 people and I have lots of practice on organizing and reorganizing my reorganizations, so I've got lots of ideas, but I wanted to start today not talking about how to get organized, but on the why part, the why of what we do. For me, I like to think first about what is God's purpose and what is God's design, and once I can figure that out, it makes it a lot easier to decide how I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And when I think of anything, I go back to the beginning. How did God start things? In the beginning, God created a man and a woman and he put them in a garden. That was their home. And he gave them something to do. He said to work the garden and to be fruitful and multiply. So basically, the purpose or their life work before there was sin or anything else, their life purpose was to work the ground that God had given them and to raise a family. And that's what I believe God's kingdom looks like. That is what we're all supposed to do. And it's easy to think there's some greater purpose in life than that, but there isn't. And it's really a blessing when you understand what God's kingdom looks like, that it really is that simple. Okay, I'm going to move over here so that I can use my dry erase board here to illustrate a few things. But again, the first point is that we have a home. Our home was created for work and our home was created for raising families. And so when it comes to organizing that space, I like to have an idea of exactly what kinds of things are going to be going on in. So I make a list of the kinds of activities that I think we're going to do here. We eat, we're going to sleep or rest. This is not a very good dry erase marker. We are going to educate. I'm going to have to switch to a different marker here. Alright, let's try this again. Our home. We're going to eat here. We're going to sleep here. We are going to educate ourselves. Whoops. And our children. We extend hospitality here. We like to have people over. We have people over for church. We have people over for parties. We just have people that come and visit very frequently. We are doing actual work, of course. We have a computer business here, but we also are, growing food, and we're cleaning and building things. This is where I like to start. I make a very comprehensive list of all the types of activities that go on in our house. And one of the things that I like to do is to contrast God's kingdom and how it works with a counterfeit. I like to call it the counterfeit kingdom. It operates on counterfeit truths. And when it comes to organizing, we get this idea that an organized house is one that looks a certain way. So we'll look at a magazine and we see all these pretty houses with perfectly organized, beautiful rooms, and that becomes in our mind a picture of organization. But that's really a counterfeit. For one thing, I once read an article about how they prepare rooms for taking pictures for the magazine, and it's amazing how much work goes into it. Like, that room has never looked better before, and probably never will look better after the day that picture was taken. And it's not just that it's super clean, because of course if you're going to get your house in a magazine, you're going to super clean it, but they actually will take things from other rooms and rearrange it and make it just like they want to for the picture. And it might look beautiful, but imagine what happens the first time somebody does any actual work in that room. They've altered it. It's now, things are going to get pulled out, it's going to get messy, and that's just life. So having organization does not have anything to do with having some counterfeit standard of physical perfection. That's, physical perfection is an ever-changing bar that can never be met. It's on how it functions. Again, that we are made for work. Our homes are made for work. Our homes are not places of rest and relaxation, although that happens there, but primarily they're made for work and for being productive and doing things. And if you go someplace that's productive and work is happening, it's going to be messy a lot of the time. But messy is not the same as disorganized. And that's why it's important to know what kind of work it is that we're going to be doing someplace, so that we can set up our spaces to be the most productive as possible and make it easy to pick up the mess when we're all done. Once I have an idea of the kind of work that I'm going to do in a place, then I wouldn't put on my dry erase board because I like to have little note cards. I write everything on note cards. But what I do then is, here's my eraser. Next, I like to make a map of our house. Our house has a little piece off the back like that. So I'll make an upstairs and a downstairs. Let's see, upstairs we have the kitchen, living room, bedroom, a bathroom, closet. We use this for the closet. It originally was 2 little closets in the house, but one for each bedroom. Sometime before we bought the house, somebody took the wall out and turned it into 1 closet and added a new one into this room. So now we just use it like for a utility closet. And the girls' room has a piece of furniture that we use for clothes. That's their bedroom. My office. Then downstairs, this is our pantry. Boys' room. Tom's office. And we call this the library. So I like to draw out a picture like that. I don't know if I have that where you can see it. Here we go. Anyways, I draw out a picture of all that, and then I take my list of things that we do and I write them in the rooms that they're done. So every room should have probably 3 to 5 things that you do there. In the living room, we like to watch TV. This is where we do our schoolwork. This is where we have church. And just generally, of course, visit with people and things. In the kitchen is where we cook and let's see, store food there. You do. We also eat in the living room because our table's in here, and we eat in the kitchen. Tom's office is where we fix computers, help customers. Boys' room is where they sleep, get dressed, play. Library is got books for reading, computers. So you get the idea. So I like to go around the whole house, make a map of the house, and write down the major activities of each of those rooms. The idea being that when you get organized, It might not look beautiful like a magazine when you're done, but you want to have the things that you need for those activities in those places. So if we are gonna do school in the living room, we want to try to keep as much of our school supplies in the living room as possible so that we aren't having to go all over the house to get them. And if we're going to get dressed in the boys' room, then of course the clothes could be there. My dream is to figure out how to store all the underwear in the bathroom, because that's where they change their underwear, is when they get out of the shower. They put on a clean pair, and sometimes they forget to grab them before they come upstairs. And I thought if some way I could figure out how to store all the underwear in the bathroom would be great, but we have a small bathroom, so I haven't figured that one out yet. Anyways, I guess that's where I'm going to stop for today. So if you are interested in following this series and getting organized, then go ahead and make a list of all the types of things that you do at your house, and remember that houses are places of productivity, so think of productive things that you do. That should be your main goal, is to make this a place where work happens and where stuff happens. So you're going to make a list of everything that you do there, and then you're going to kind of transfer that list onto a map or a drawing of your house, so that you can kind of start thinking about where things should be, not where they are now, but where they should be to make your house work really effectively. So that is my first tip in this series, and we will see you again soon with the next video on getting organized.